I want you to enter the city, rescue HVT-1, and get them to safety.
I'm sorry, for those of us who don't speak good guy, what is HVT-1?
The only person that matters in the city, the one person you can't kill. Complete the mission, you get time off your prison sentence. Fail the mission, you die. Anything happens to Colonel Flagg, I'll kill every single one of you. Remember, I'm watching. I see everything.
And that was a clip from Suicide Squad, in which a team of DC Comics bad guys faces off against some even worse bad guys. The Warner Brothers movie was written and directed by David Ayer, with a cast that includes Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, and Jared Leto. Here to give us his review of the movie is WSJ film critic Joe Morgenstern. Welcome, Joe. Great to see you.
Thank you, Tanya. Good to talk to you.
You called this film a weapon of mass depression, so clearly you didn't enjoy it. Is that right?
Yes, I really didn't. And I'm glad that headline made it clear. I guess I made it clear in the first paragraph, too, when I called it ugly trash. And I must say I paused for a millisecond or two before I used the word trash, but for me, the distinction is between the trash bin and the recycle bin, and I can't imagine anybody wanting to recycle this movie.
Is
the film itself is recycling the Warner Brothers Batman versus Superman, which opened last March, and which was the opening salvo in what Warner's hopes to be a whole string of DC Comics films. They're grim, both of them. They're full of violence. And what struck me so is not just the emptiness of this film, but the ineptitude of it. It's just not very well made.
Now, was there any fun at all to be had, even in the casting? I know you were looking forward to Margot Robbie's performance.
Yeah, Margot Robbie is a charming young Australian who's very good at comedy, very witty, and I really looked forward to seeing her as the psychiatrist turned lunatic Harley. She's not very good because David Ayer, the writer-director of this film, is just not very good at, never mind comedy, just any kind of humanity. This is an unrelentingly violent film that, for me, wore out its welcome after the first hour or so, and the first 45 minutes of that hour are given over to basically nothing but scene setting and little vignettes about what each one of the backstory about each one of the characters. When it finally gets going, it has nowhere to go except people beating up on each other.
It does sound quite grim and dark. Can anyone argue that a film this relentlessly dark is a good fit with the current grim mood of the culture at large?
Well, you can argue about whether the mood of the culture at large is grim. It has certainly seemed pretty grim in recent weeks. I'm not naming any names or any conventions, but yeah, you can argue that this is a film for the fanboys and the fangirls, the dedicated comic book lovers. But you can also argue that its progenitor, Batman versus Superman, was not very well received by the fan base. Made a lot of money because it cost a lot of money and because Warner's invested gigantic amounts of money in marketing it. This may turn out to be more of the same.
Well, thank you so much, Joe, for that. I'll be sure to miss this one. And even more importantly, I'm going to make sure that my children miss it. I don't think a film this dark is something I really want my kids to see.
Good move, I'd say.
Thank you, Joe Morgenstern, for that.
Thank you.